Opinionated. Second series, second episode, last part. In the studio, I got our guest, Dr. Owen Lemond, and on Skype, we will talk to Professor Deborah Richards, who is on the Skype. But before that, and we'll start and talk about artificial intelligence, but for kicking the topic, we're gonna have a video clip played in, which we're going to have a video clip which we have to play in, and it's all about Facebook bots. Probably you see this news item, but we watch it again. It takes only 2 minutes, 38 seconds. Let's see it.
Facebook has enacted an emergency shutdown of 2 artificial intelligence programs. The social media giant leapt into action after it discovered the 2 programs were writing their own code. At first, they thought it was simply gibberish, but they soon realised the programs had invented their own language and were actually talking to each other.
Stop it.
Stop it. No, Sam, the plug has been pulled on the operation, but the company admits they have no idea what the 2 robots were planning.
We used to do everything by hand. Now we rely on robots. But not all robots are equal. For example, meet Sophia, a humanoid-like robot with artificial intelligence and a dark sense of humor.
They think I want to destroy all humans.
Why would they think that?
Because I said it.
Now, robots threatening the human race isn't new. It's a science fiction standard.
I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me.
But recently, tech billionaire Elon Musk suggested all that fiction could become reality.
I keep sounding the alarm bell, but until people see robots going down the street killing people, they don't know how to react.
And Musk should know his company Tesla is a world leader in artificial intelligence, or AI. But just like robots, not all tech billionaires think the same. So enter Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg.
With AI especially, I'm really optimistic. And I think that people who are naysayers and kind of try to drum up these doomsday scenarios are... I don't understand it. I think it's really negative, and in some ways I actually think it's pretty irresponsible.
Musk's response? Zuckerberg's understanding of the subject is limited. Ouch. Now, it's important to note that 2 billionaires have a history. This was Musk's rocket. Inside was Zuckerberg's satellite. So when it comes to AI, Zuckerberg looks at how it can help diagnose diseases and prevent car wrecks. Musk is afraid of the day AI gets smarter than us and we can't turn it off.
That's actually the nightmare scenario that a lot of people, not just Musk, are warning about. And I think they're right to warn about it, but they're not right to do it in a way that says, therefore we shouldn't create artificial intelligence.
So in a way, they're both right. They just let those human emotions get the better of them.
I find that whole thing a little bit frightening, a little bit funny, and a little bit disappointing. But that's just me. I not have artificial intelligence, but just normal person. And now we start discussing the issue of artificial intelligence with Professor Deborah Richards. So what do you think about, Deborah, 2 artificial intelligence on Facebook? I don't know even why artificial intelligence got a Facebook site, but 2 artificial intelligence on Facebook created a new language, and it's so frightening, Facebook decided to shut down the 2 sites. What do you think?
I think what it demonstrates is that we need to think about what we are creating and why we create it. Because if it doesn't have a goal, a worthy goal, then it can essentially run away. Yes. It's similar to, I think it was a few months back now, but another chatbot was put up and it would learn from the human. But after, and I don't think it even lasted 24 hours, it was, I think, quite quickly, it learned from humans how to swear, but also how to, it became very bigoted and very racist. and very offensive in its thoughts and what it expressed. So I think we shouldn't see artificial intelligence as something that's independent of us. Humans have designed that, and then humans have gone and trained that. And so we do need to be thinking about our technology and what we want it to do and where we want it to go. Otherwise, it will run away. And this is where the bad elements come in, if it's not actually designed to, is it achieving a purpose, or are we going to let it, behave badly?
So artificial intelligence, after all, probably not that artificial because it just simply represents us. So it's us with another little arm to go away or go around. That's what you described. Yes?
Yeah,
sorry.
so, I guess, thinking about, you probably already had some discussion about what artificial intelligence is. And, just basically it's about machines doing what intelligent life can do. But also one of the things that...
Sorry, so yes.
But one of the key things that I learnt when I started as an AI researcher was that it also is about helping us understand humans more. Okay, so it's a way of using technology and machines to understand humans. And a lot of the work I do is working with psychologists and understanding humans and using that technology, to help humans, but also to understand them. And so this is what we're learning from something like that Facebook example.
Incident, yes.
We are learning, and from that other incident too, what it is a reflection on ourselves. So if we're trying to create machines that are like ourselves, when it behaves badly, it's a reflection on ourselves as well.
Not on the technology, but the brain, which feeds the technology.
Yeah. It's artificial intelligence. So it's come from a natural intelligence, and that is what's being demonstrated.
And has come close as natural as this was, and the one which just before happened, what you just referred to, that is really just a reflection of our existing intelligence. So how do you see the future for artificial intelligence? Not the danger as much, because you just described one of the dangerous aspects, and you also described how useful is that for us to learn about ourselves on the long run. But how do you see the future? What's the positive, apart from the learning curve, which we all do, what is that going to give us?
So technology is there to serve us. So we should use technology in ways that it takes advantage of the things that we're not good at, like remembering. We can remember lots of things, but we can't necessarily retrieve it when we need to, or process so much information. So what can we have humans do, have machines do, that what they can do better than what we can do? Okay, so what we're replicating in them are things that we can do, but we may not be able to do them so well. Okay, so we can remember things, but we can't remember things perfectly. So as an example, which is quite different to what people may have thought of, so in the area that I particularly work in, which is intelligent virtual agents, which are virtual humans, so they have an embodiment, they have a face. They're being used as to build relationships with, to improve, and I've been doing this work, to improve adherence to treatment advice. So to build a working alliance so that, or like a coach, to encourage someone to follow the treatment advice. So these characters have been used with sufferers of post-trauma stress disorder who have said that they prefer to work with an artificial interviewer character
rather than a human person.
Rather than a human, because they think the human will judge them.
More than...
Okay, and so they disclose less. So it's a matter of understanding, where can they be used? So they're obviously more available, for training purposes, for so in social contexts, so currently for a lot of training, like, say for sexual harassment or something, one would play role-playing games, humans taking on a role, but that's awkward, and, timely.
But that's also live. But it's also live.
And live, which has all those, risks and timing issues and whatever. So again, this is a place where we can have artificial humans who act as our partners, and so you can practice things, or in contexts for first responders, who may go in, you send an artificial, and this time it might actually have a physical embodiment, so be a robot. It would go in and disarm the mine or whatever, again to protect the human and to do the thing that is not easy or safe or appropriate for the human to do.
Thank you very much for your insight, Deborah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your insight. And I hope you're going to have more fun to study artificial intelligence in the future. And thanks again for your contribution in the show.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
And here we are with Owen. Owen.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing well.
What made you close to artificial intelligence? So how do you get into that field?
Oh, I don't know. I guess it's the science fiction, watching the robots that could act like people. But yeah, I guess more recently it's just, as some of your other guests pointed out, that AI can automate things that we'd need an impractical number of humans to do. They can look at vast quantities of data and find, I guess, insights that people wouldn't otherwise be able to get. And yeah, some of that is commercial, probably a lot of it, but there's potentially good applications for that too.
So my question for you, Owen, when do you see the danger of artificial intelligence? Where is that lying in your mind after your experience of the field?
What's dangerous about it? I worry a bit about how much artificial intelligence controls the information that we gather online. It increasingly filters what we see. That's one thing that a lot of prominent people are concerned about. I think, as also discussed, AI, it's only as good as the data that it's given. So it's perfectly possible for an artificial intelligence to become racist or biased in some way.
As
if
we
it's
heard in
presented with
the example before, yes.
Yeah, if it's given data that portrays particular ethnic groups more positively or negatively, it can definitely find those sorts of patterns as well.
So that's open for manipulation.
Yeah.
That's a big danger.
Yeah.
Because we programming it, so we decide which way it's go and what data dominate the actions of the
I think quite often it's unintentional because the data is so big, we might not ourselves know exactly what's in it or how it represents. So that's a danger. And I guess in a more distant future, if you're worried about actual physical threats, then I guess quite a lot of people are worried about how you might use like weaponized drones and whether we actually end up using software that lets them decide for themselves.
That's we're already using the weaponized drones.
Yeah, but usually it's more like a remote control. There's always
killing
a human
machine,
in a
remote control killing machine, which is still in the hands of the humans with the activation.
Yeah.
So
I guess
is it better to kill with a robot or kill with a human? I mean, killing is killing. I mean, that doesn't change the war because, as we know, in the war, these automated killing machines flying around in the world and commanded from a long distance, they're still 70% killing innocent people than killing the target.
Yeah.
So
I don't know that it's worse whether a software or a human is controlling that. But yeah, I know it concerns a lot of people. There's quite a few academics that would like to ban sort of weaponized drones the same way we ban blinding laser weapons or chemical weapons.
But it's not happening yet, just.
Yeah, I think that the strategic advantages of using machines is going to make them very popular with militaries.
Is it?
I think so.
Because it's cheaper or because it's just
Well, yeah, robots are expendable. There's lots of cases where you might want to use them for reconnaissance and you don't want to send your infantry in first to do the reconnaissance. And there's advantages, I guess, in terms of like aircraft. Human pilots have physical limitations. They can only survive so many acceleration without passing out. Potentially, if we're using robot drones, they don't have these same limitations. That's a tactical advantage.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap up the show because we're running out of time. What's your message for the people about artificial intelligence?
I mean, obviously, I'm still positive and optimistic about the field. I wouldn't be interested in it if I wasn't. Yeah, I guess I hope people are more aware of how it can be used and can't be used. But yeah, I think as discussed before, there's a lot of potential in terms of medical diagnosis where AI's technology can really help us out. So yeah, I would definitely like to end on a positive note. I think.
Owen, thanks for this. And now we finish this program, but don't forget, tomorrow, same time, same channel, Opinionated.